So today on Project Shop, we have a lot of transformers and lights to break down. But first thing we're going to do is finally repair the plates on the press. These are the plates off the second press, and one of the problems is there's actually a little lip here that keeps this up, and this is not a sharp edge. So we're going to weld this up, and then Steve's going to grind it back. And then the plates over here, I had a couple people suggest that I should do the same. And that's the best way to do this. Back in the day, I used to just cut these square stocks off of here, right? I used to just cut these off and re-weld them. The problem is, I don't know if you can see it, they are, they're kind of shaped. So what we're gonna do is weld the top face of this, and these are actually bent down like this. I'm gonna weld this up, and we're gonna put a nice sharp edge on this, and hopefully it'll grab into those transformers a little better and help them crack them welds. Okay, here we go. I put 2 layers down there, 1 layer on the edge, 1 layer on the back side, and then I came in the middle here where it was really stooping down. And now what we're going to do is take a piece of this square. This is actually the size that I used, I think that's the exact size. That's a little warm. Probably just going to take a piece of this square stock, clamp it to the face of the table like so, and then run this like that, and that should give us what we need. We'll just run the a cutoff. Got a stack of cutoffs over here. We can just run a cutoff in there like that and get it nice and straight, and then if I have to come back in and fill it in at all, we'll check it against some transformers. Now, the reason I went with this size stock is because the smallest transformer has the smallest gap between the edge and the weld. So actually the bigger transformer has a bigger gap and would work better if I had a bigger stock for the larger ones. And ultimately what I'd like to do is actually have this moving on top of a plate that moves. So like that would be moving back and forth to get the gap between the big ones and the small ones, and then this plate here would actually move independent of that to come in for the little and big ones. Just a little bit more involved. When I plan on rebuilding this whole press eventually, when that thing's running, I'll make a whole new one out of thicker steel. And get this, I just got a price. I was doing some welding in another video y'all seen, and I got a price on a plate, $1,700 for a fucking 3/4 inch 4x8 steel plate. So the stuff ain't cheap. Anyway, Steve's gonna grind on that. I'm gonna put more bead on this. He's got this all cleaned up. I'm just gonna run some bead right down the face of this. You can see this is all torn up, and these were already torn up before I even made these. These are just angle plates. So we'll get that on there. He'll put a sharp edge, and then hopefully these things will won't kick out as much as they did. Yeah, this is kind of rounded. So hopefully this will do a lot better than it was. Okay, these things came out great. There's a little booger in there where the weld had like a little pothole in it, but overall I think they turned out amazing compared to what they were. That one came out really nice. I think this is the one that wasn't as bad. This one was really bad, but now they got a nice sharp edge on it. It's not sloped. They should hold on to the transformers and dig in a little bit better. We're gonna go get something to eat, and then when we come back, we'll see how they run. Okay, we're back at it. It's actually the next day. We went and actually got some hamburger meat. We barbecued, and then it was a wrap. So right now, we have a bunch of transformers outside to recover from some lights, but Steve went ahead and cut a whole bunch of these ballast up. We're just gonna blow through them real quick. I just want to show you that if you freeze these, it works a lot better. Or if you're in a colder climate, especially it's getting winter time, they'll break apart, but some of these are brittle. Now Steve went ahead and just cut the end off. They have these tabs. Now I can get that off with the hatchet. He's over there, he's got the hatchet, he's putting in some work with that. I'm just going to use the back of this hammer here and show you these things actually come apart relatively easy. If you crack it here in the corner and fold down the end, now you should be wearing gloves and safety glasses and possibly a respirator messing with this stuff. You got some sheet metal. This stuff is pretty brittle. This particular one, or this style, these little ones here, they're just coming right apart. You know, you just tap them with the hammer, and then you can do either one of two things with this. Either you take your screwdriver and pry that off, right? This one's being a little difficult. Okay, maybe not. Let's see if this side will come off. I was prying the other ones off with ease. This one doesn't want to do it. But what I was doing is taking the back of the hammer and catching that lip right there and just knocking them right off. These are not welded together. See that? And then they pretty much just fall apart at that point. That's nice little nuggets of copper right there. And then once you get in a rhythm with these, you really should be wearing gloves because this stuff is sharp. I use what's called the soft hand method. Whenever I'm dealing with glass or sharp stuff, you got to have soft hands, meaning you hold the stuff, but you don't like hold it, if that makes sense. Probably not. Anyway, just blow through a couple of these real quick, just tap off that stuff, and get on that one of them little corners. And they come right apart. I did a video showing how you can make 500 bucks a day processing these if you have a whole bunch of them. The hardest part really is just getting them out of the metal case. You know, once you get them to this part, it's pretty much easy. What I do on the ones like this, the ones that are sticky, I focus on, oh wow, this is a different style. I'll show you here in a second. I focus on just trying to get the stuff off, or get the steel off. If you focus on getting that steel off, now this one's definitely a little different. So, okay, this is the type of transformer where these are actually riveted together. So there's no breaking that off. But I can tell right away there's a little thing there. This has to be put in the press and pushed out, and then you can push the core. So we ain't gonna go much further with this one. Clean it up a little bit, and we'll send that to the next one. I always try to keep my table constantly cleaning it off because you're getting dust, aerating all that dust. Just tap around, give it a little tappy. That way we can send that copper home. Get on that edge. And there you go. Just blowing that stuff apart. And just like with anything, once you do a bunch of them and you get in a good rhythm, it's going to go super fast. I apologize if there's wind. It's still hot in South Florida, and I need to keep a good airflow, blow this dust right away from me. Yeah, these particular ones are really brittle. They're coming right apart. Steve pre-cut them, so it's working out really good. And just like with anything, if you got two people, it just makes your life a lot easier. These are brittle enough. You just beat them on the table. That's about a clean transformer right there. I've been throwing these tabs away. That's old sheet. That's prepared steel. Look at that. She just falling apart. You okay? Huh?
You want the hatchet and I'll take the hammer?
No, I'm good, man. These things are falling apart, bro.
Mine are. I got the big ones, man. They're like rubber.
You want me to do those?
No, they're
I think it'd be better on this hard table, man. And with everything, once you get a system down, you know what you're doing, it's gonna make your whole life easier. All that nasty tar. So, on these nasty ones, what I try to do is get those clips off, right? Get them clips out of there and then knock these off. I mean, I don't even try to get that much stuff off. I'll still send that with the prepared steel. And then you're pretty much there. You know? A little bit of work. The back of the hammer works really good for getting in there and doing that tedious work that needs to be done. Okay. Moving right along. Woo! Gumming up the back of the hammer. And when you're doing stuff like this, you know, if you don't have good aim, you really got to be careful, especially if you're using that hatchet. A good way to lose a finger. Drive that end off of there and then crack that. Probably send that as old sheet. I don't want to be messing with it. I'll send it like that. I don't care. Now that might just need a little bit of work. Make sure you got a good edge. Now these here, these really long ones with the tar, sometimes if you're having a hard time pushing that core out, what you want to do is come down here with the grinder and just cut all the way down to the steel. It'll open up and come out like butter. Okay, back to the easy ones. Now those other ones had way more copper in them, so a little extra work, but a little extra reward in the end. Dusty shit out of the way. Oh, don't throw away the copper. Oh. There's a very little lip there. You gotta have like, oh, real precise aim. Or use a screwdriver. Well, that last one kind of, yeah, these ones are actually really nice. These are some of the easiest ones I've ever done. I'm gonna knock these out real quick, and then we'll get on to recovering some of the nice transformers that I like doing. Oh, come on. Okay. Yeah, I had barrels of these. Took me and Steve all day. Actually, it might have been a couple days. You know, between other projects. We always got so much going on over here. You get sidetracked really easy around here with everything. There's just too much to do and not enough time to do it. All right, okay, so there you have it with that stuff. I'm gonna set up a time lapse. Actually, we don't even have that much left. We're just gonna blow through it. When we get on to the next little bit on them lights outside. Okay, we're back at it. We're gonna come out here and blow through these lights real quick. Now, some of them we're already taking apart and basically just gotta remove the lamp. We're gonna get the lens off. Now, remembering last time, a lot of these had double aluminum transformers, which really sucked, but the good thing is I didn't pay for these. It was a new customer. They just wanted me to come pick them up for free, so that was pretty awesome. We do got some nice steaks cooking from Sprouts. They always got the best steaks. So we're gonna take a time lapse real quick while that steak is cooking. Maybe we can knock them out before they're done and see what we get out of these. I'm hopeful, but I know that there's probably going to be some BS transformers in here, but we got to get them out anyway. And then we have another pile right there. We'll pull those out, get all the transformers up. I'd like to get all that stuff done tonight. Okay, we're back from eating steak. I'm kind of lethargic right now, but we're gonna get back at it. Now, unfortunately, all these look like those double aluminum ones, except for these small ones. There is a couple small ones in here. Those I'm pretty sure are double copper. So we're gonna go get this cleaned up real quick. We're not gonna process these any further. We're just gonna pull the lamps out, leave those lenses right in there, and sell this all off as cast aluminum. These are already pretty much ready to go. We just gotta pull the lamps out. The ones on the bottom, or maybe Steve got them all. No, there's a couple left. What I'm going to do is actually weigh one of these. I'm going to find the one with the smallest, or even completely missing one of these. So I always like to weigh on the lower end, so I get a bonus when I go. We'll probably weigh this one right here. Yeah, it's missing the whole thing. And we're going to keep a running tab so we can kind of figure out what we're going to get. We're looking for maybe like 4 grand. I don't know if we'll get there, but we're going to try. I'll tell you where we're going, right to the scrap yard. Still got this whole bin to go through. Wow, look at this. don't even know what that is. That's 5 wires. What kind of phase is that? Holy smokes. Oh, snap. This barrel's heavy. Check this out. This is what I needed the other day when I built the 3-phase converter. 1 wire in, 2 wires out on a plastic isolator. So I'm going to take this off and keep it. I'll keep the whole thing. Because what's cool about this, even though this is 2 sections, you can cut these and do whatever you want. So when I remake that and I add a second plug to it for the lathe, you know, I'll have some more stuff where we can split some stuff off. And see what else we got down here. We got tons of stuff. This came from the stadium where the hockey team plays. Got a whole big coil of SO cable. Good Lord. Look at that. That was extension cord for days. Although this might be some weird... Oh, you know what this is? Is this it? Yeah. So I might even keep a big section of this. This is the same stuff that I used for my crane to power all the functions. So my crane, so I have like 1 positive going up to it, and then all the switches, you know, you got 1 cable coming in, but you got a whole bunch of wires in the cable. This is more like the one I got with 16 pins in there. Yeah, that's pretty cool.